are joining us. How are we all?
I hope you're well. What day is it today? I've even lost
I
track
have
of what
no
day
idea.
it is. Does anybody
I have
else
no
feel like
idea.
January was the longest month ever?
Yeah, I think 2024 has definitely got up and running. I've already had a holiday.
Yeah, I
It's
noticed that.
January.
It just disappeared. It's like January, I'm off.
Where
did you go?
Went skiing in the Alps in a little place called Nijev for a week. No snow, which is slightly challenging with skiing, but a lovely break. But I can't believe I needed a break in January, which is, sad state of affairs. How about you guys?
January's a long month. Comment down below where in the world are you broadcasting from?
We're broadcasting, they're probably watching.
Oh yeah. Well, no, they are broadcasting. They are broadcasting into the comments. Hello, Baz Ebbers.
I
Morning
get
for
you,
me, but good
I get
evening
you.
anyway. Everyone is broadcasting their own little way.
Hello guys from Austria, from Germany, from Finland. Hi from Hertfordshire, some of our homies. Netherlands, Loughborough. Right, okay, straight away we are talking to the world.
Colorado, Brazil, and you know it's proper Brazil because it's spelled with an S, opposed to we spell it with Z.
I always find these moments a little bit of a shock because you kind of like we get on with our own little world, and then suddenly you push go, and suddenly you go, there's 100 people, there's nearly 500 people in the room, and you're a little bit kind of daunted, and I start stumbling over my words.
Yeah, well, it's probably because you've had a beer as well.
Yeah, I've had half a beer.
It's Thursday, it's the end of Jan, and we just want to talk to you about what else is coming up this year. So some spoilers, but mostly we're all ears. We just want to listen and find out what you want to see from us in the year ahead, because January was 14 videos. Mm-hmm. We've already shot a whole bunch more for Feb, but we also have a big slate of content to fill this year. So we kind of want to know from you what you'd love to see. Yeah. Maybe we even just start there.
Well, the thing is that December last year was very busy. Turns out you guys just want to see more, which isn't that easy for us. Doing more, it means a lot more creative ideas, therefore we need more of your help.
We've got an amazing team, but more is always going to be a challenge. We wanted to make sure it's the right more, though. Mm-hmm. Not just more for the sake of more, but more because you want to watch it. So comment down below, what would you love to see from us in the year ahead, whether it's different formats, different styles of stuff, favourite stuff you enjoyed from December or last year, or brand new ideas. Comment down below.
So what we're doing now is basically collating all of these comments so we can read back them over later, so we can take it to the team and go, look, these are all our options. This is what the people want. They have spoken, therefore we shall do.
We've always kind of done it. I mean, even from the very first time on YouTube that we went, like, scaled, we were doing more than one video a week, it was because people were requesting recipes. Back when we did just recipe videos, people say, oh, can you make this, can you make that, and that was literally steering what we did. Now it's a bit different. Now it's more like ideas and formats and themes and games and cloche lifting and global ingredients or travel or whatever it is you want to see. We would love to know. And just so you know, because these comments are whizzing by pretty quick, we've got a little plugin that's collecting them all so we don't lose any of them. And it's also consolidating into a little word cloud for us so we know roughly what you're saying. And what worries me is there's a couple of big words that are standing out. Poker. I can only imagine what you want.
And Kush is another big word.
I think it's big because it's just in red, which is like a red flag in my mind.
Gotcha. Poker face, pass it on as to be expected. And don't worry, we've already shot some of those already this year. They'll be coming out probably very, very soon. James is sneaking there a little bit as well, I've noticed.
James is also there. Barry's a lot smaller.
I know, I noticed that.
Maybe you can have another holiday.
Oh, yeah!
There's a lot of people saying Kush. Whatever you suggest, we ignore. No, we don't ignore. We bank.
Yeah.
We bank. There's lots and lots.
As long as it's a good idea, we don't ignore it.
Bloopers. Oh, interesting. We haven't done bloopers for a while.
Sorted pop-up restaurant.
Sorted pop-up restaurant.
So last year we did a few, we call them activations internally, of things that we'll do which are not as part of our usual scheduled activity. Last year we did one with Prince William.
Well, that was a video, but it was more of a pop-up in itself.
Yeah, and but the thing is, by doing something physical, almost gives you a video.
You're straight into like Prince William. I'm pretty sure the first time you use his name in conversation, you're supposed to begin with His Royal Highness.
Nah,
you can go on to other stuff.
We're on first name terms, aren't we, Willie? So more of those type of pop-up things, I think we're definitely keen for. So yeah, ideas and those would be great.
Lots more past. Okay, so here's some other stuff that we've already filmed that's coming to you in Feb.
Yep.
So you guys have, there's nearly 1,300 of you have joined us here. In return for joining us here, a few spoilers. We have got another Pass It On, which we filmed yesterday.
Yep.
That's coming your way. We have got another poker face coming your way. We've got more gadgets, we've got more potential ingredients, and at your request, we've got a tin roulette challenge that's chef versus chef. So it's Kush and I going head to head with tinned food roulette. So there's already lots of fun stuff, but what else do you want to say? Somebody saying historical food, more collabs. Maybe we'll come back to collabs later. We don't want to explore that. Global A to Z.
We've got a long way to go to get to Z. People are moaning about the volume as well. I'm sorry if the volume isn't great. We're trying new microphones and a new setup, and it obviously isn't working very well. So I'm going to hold it here instead.
Excellent.
Let's do that. Let's just make it official. Right. Okay. So, drunk Barry. No, I've had a sip of beer. How dare you? People are shouting me to go to Brazil as well. I'm super keen for that.
Brazil. Amazing food culture in Brazil. This is ridiculous.
It's how the kids.
I want to use my new microphones. And now we have to hold them like
I
a
know.
radio, like a.
I know. You see them do it on TikTok, don't you?
I just want these earpieces.
Yeah, it's not proper live. This is a cheap live, mate. It's recreating famous dishes again. We haven't done one of those in a long time, have we?
Some of the, which again, someone said more historic stuff.
Yeah.
So dishes from the past. Which ones did we do? Did the Concord meal?
Yep.
Fictional ones that appeared in Wind of the Willows. They were all good fun, but we actually haven't done one of those for a while.
No.
Elvis Presley's wedding breakfast. That was pretty mega.
Yeah.
We've not done any of those for a while. My mic's not working at all, people are saying.
There you go.
Great.
I'm so sorry, Ben. This is my idea, and it's all gone. I've screwed it up. Anyway.
Come to Ireland. People are saying come to Ireland. Amazingly, there are so many of you in Dublin that we know you're watching from Dublin because, again, everything we do is a combination of what's important in the world of food, what we know you guys want to see and you tell us, fun things that we like, but also kind of like where the data tells us you're from. Yep. So we know that loads of you are from Dublin and we want to do more Irish stuff too.
People want to see more 10-minute burger challenge.
I feel like we put that one to bed.
We definitely put it. We have crowned a winner in James on the live show. I think that's now done. But we might need a new challenge for this year. There are badges aren't really a thing anymore.
No, that's finished. You've won the back apron. Yep. And I noticed a comment in, I think it was yesterday's video, that said, just checking, perhaps that red apron is like a bad omen because you've not won a single challenge since it has been a thing. Since you won it, you haven't won a single thing. Yeah,
I'm not a Roger Federer or a Pete Sampras. I'm one of those. I'm a Leicester City. I'll come in, take the glory, never win it again.
That's a football reference, so I'm not even going to react to it because I physically can't. Somebody here has just said 3 versus 3 pass it on, i.e. 2 people in the kitchen at a time.
Ooh. How would that work?
We did it once as a guest, with guests, didn't we?
We did, Poppy? Yeah, and another name drop with Emma Thompson.
Yes, absolutely. Somebody would just like to see a pub crawl. We could just do a pub crawl and just do this, actually, from a phone.
Just bring it with
Pubs
us.
Around London.
Bring it with us.
Yeah.
That's
Top Jaw won't know what's up.
Let's do it with Top Jaw. Let's do that. That is a great idea for a club of Top Jaw. Okay, great. Yeah, nice.
Fab. Now, obviously, so that's loads of lovely ideas around. Somebody said more tacos, please. Let's move on to food because we've talked about ideas and games and formats and videos. But actually, one thing that we ultimately do is cook food for you guys. And it's helpful to know what food you want us to cook. And that helps if we know, both from a video but also Sidekick point of view, which diet you would identify with. Right, so, for example, we've just had a whole month of Veganuary, which is obviously a big month for talking about vegan options and diets. But which of these following diets do you feel like you identify with the most? And look, you'll be impressed with this. I've done this.
They won't be because they shouldn't have to tell. Look, so everybody, how do these read? Do they read normal to you? Because they don't for us, because it's back to front.
I did it back to front.
You spent half an hour trying to work out how to do this.
If it's vegan, put just number 1 in the comments. If it's vegetarian, just put number 2. If it's pescatarian, i.e. Vegetarian plus fish, then just put number 3 in the comments, literally just the number. If you're an omnivore, so you kind of eat a little bit of everything all the time, just put number 4 in the comments. If you're flexitarian, which kind of means maybe you change from day to day or from meal to meal. You might be vegan one day a month. You might go meatless Mondays and be veggie once a week. Yeah. More flexi. Or if it's other, you're going to have to tell us what that other is. We're not necessarily looking for like dietary requirements, just key diets that you would
Yeah.
kind of identify with?
Yeah, I've always been tempted to call myself a flexitarian, but I think I might get laughed at.
See, look, that's where it did start. So
You tried that and you got
that makes
freaked
no
out.
sense to them. So I just printed it as a mirror image. Problem
No, no.
solving. Problem solving.
Okay, right. Thank you. This is great. So basically, we by typing a number, it helps us with this system here to work out what's coming in. Okay, omnivore is coming in strong.
But you know what? And I put it on there because I think it's on the up. But flexitarian, people are saying sometimes they'll have a day off of meat
Yeah.
or 2 days off, or maybe they only eat meat when they go out, but they
Yeah.
cook vegetarian at home, or
Yeah.
maybe it's just a weekend thing. So a surprising number of people saying flexitarian, and there's some others and comments coming down. That is really helpful.
Thank you.
Literally hundreds of you answered that, and it will help us to make sure we're making the right kind of content for you. Thank you.
I'm intrigued. The people who are writing other. What type of others? Are they all being serious, or are there some fun ones? I'm hoping there are some fun ones in
Well,
there.
there's obviously other religious diets and stuff,
Yeah, no.
so it could be like a kosher diet,
Yeah.
but there's also, I imagine, things like, I don't like pineapple, which is fine, Barry.
Yeah,
we know you don't
fine.
like pineapple,
Cheers.
but don't worry.
Keto.
Great, that's awesome. We've got all of that locked in.
Yep. Thank you.
Should we travel the world?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So you may have noticed last year we did get out the studio a little bit more. We're thinking of doing the same this year, but we don't know where to go. We might stick in the UK. We might go slightly further ashore, but we need your ideas. Where in the world do you think we should go to next or this year?
Either to physically travel to,
Yep.
or just as a cuisine to explore
Yeah.
from the studio. Because last year we did Croatia with Vlogfest. Jamie and I were lucky enough to go to Georgia, the country, not the state, and that was an amazing experience.
Yep.
We went to the Alps
Yep.
with James Curry earlier last year. We were back in Texas, 5 big cities in Texas. We went to Sacramento and looked at the walnut harvest in California.
Yeah.
And we went to Singapore. So we did a lot of travel
Did you
last
go
year.
on all of those trips?
Yeah, I love living it.
We don't.
You have kids and wives.
Okay, we have commitments.
I
yes.
have a well-stamped passport. I enjoy travel because you learn a lot. I feel like you learn a lot. So some people saying what we got. We got our word cloud here, so we can see what you're all saying. A lot of people. The biggest word is South, which is difficult because I don't know if that's South Korea, South Africa,
America.
South America. But a lot of you want us to go south.
3 biggest words I'm most excited by: Africa, Korea, Japan,
And India.
and India. Yes.
And Australia's big.
Right, lots of big words.
This is great.
Okay.
Hungry, and I'm not sure if that's just misspelled. Like, are you want us to go to Hungary, or are you just hungry? I don't know.
Yeah, we've not scratched the surface with travel really. Again, we've done lots of stuff in the studio that has been inspired by food from around the world.
Which we love doing, but I think
forget-
you guys love as well. The global street food and guessing the
Oh, the
location.
best
They're
food,
always
the
popular
best
videos
food.
to shoot here, because we love them, but also you guys love them too. So, yeah, where else should we be going next year? This year.
This year, I didn't expect Africa to be so high up. Wait a minute,
I mean, it's a
reckon-
big place.
But I reckon the South and the Africa
Could well be
lined up
South
with it,
Africa.
yeah.
Well, we can dig in on that later on, but we have got again hundreds of you commenting.
phenomenal, thank
Greece. I would
you.
love to go to Greece. I've only been to Athens briefly. Hong Kong, Morocco. That is super helpful.
Wouldn't it be great if just like the top answer? We don't look. We never know what the top answer is. All we do is just give it to someone to book us a ticket.
Well, I
there,
think that's kind
and
of
we
spin
find
the
out in
wheel.
airport.
Spin the wheel, throw a
Wouldn't that be
dart, and see where we end
amazing?
up. Is that not kind of the point?
Yeah, you decide. We go in blind. Amazing.
Okay, interesting. I'm going to end that one now because we've just had a little super chat come through from someone, I think in Singapore, Alessandro. Thank you so much for everything, guys. Sidekick made me cook way more at home and super time efficient midweek. So this is not a plug for Sidekick, but it leads us nicely on to what the team here, Kirsch and Layla and the whole team, when developing recipes for Sidekick, it's supposed to be easy and inspirational and get dinner on the table really quick and get you to try a few new things and move around the kitchen like a chef. But we also kind of started it as an idea of reducing food waste. So it would be great to know from you what like ingredients, either food or drink, you throw away the most at home. So what is it that you're putting in the bin, either at the end of the week or whenever it is, stale, rotten, furry, dry, scaly, disgusting? What is it you're throwing away the most? Food and or drink?
Yeah, what ends up at the back of your fridge that you always have a little bit left over and you can't work out what to do with? What would yours be? Or you think you're pretty meticulous in the kitchen?
Yeah, some would say anal. I love every last bit of everything, which is why I have so many preserves and chutneys and marmalades and things that I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever get around to using these 8 jars of pickle, but at least they've been preserved. At some point I'll get around to it. But I would say, especially if you travel, often it's things like salad, bags of salad.
Yeah,
because once you've opened that bag, they go
know.
pretty quick, which is why I prefer to buy whole heads of lettuce, because at least they've still got their root on, or grow it on the balcony, pick it fresh when you want.
Nice.
And sometimes milk. If I buy too much milk and then a few days change where I'm not at home, on my own it's difficult to get through pints of the stuff because I only really have it in tea and coffee.
Yeah.
So then I have to force myself, it's going to have to be a fish pie this weekend, just use up the milk.
Yeah.
Oh, heaven.
Mine's mostly dairy stuff.
Herbs, some people saying?
Yeah, herbs. When they go wilty and they go a little bit brown and sad, we don't look after them. That happens a lot. Otherwise, mine's the yogurt. We always talk about it, but it's the yogurt at the back of the fridge that I don't quite use it all up. And I end up having, by the end of week 2 or 3, 2 or 3 tubs of yogurt in there. All a little bit at the end I don't quite trust.
Yeah, all a little bit of furry coat. A lot of people saying salad, milk, bread, lettuce.
Lemons and...
Gin and tonic, mate, just sort it out. It's like, my problem is, I hate food waste to the point of sometimes overeating. Because I'm like, I don't need a gin and tonic tonight, or I don't need a fish pie this weekend, but I have to use the milk up and the herbs which are going off, and I've got half a bag of spinach. What can I do with it? It's a lovely green bechamel sauce to go with fish for a fish pie. So I often deliberately make stuff based on leftovers. Sometimes bad.
Our problem is we have quite a exotic fruit bowl on display, and we like to keep it topped up with looking lovely to tempt in Austin to keep eating fruit. But with that, the lemons and the tangerines at the bottom get a bit squashed and get a little bit furry. So I need to improve that, be better. Bread.
I did have, I feel like I need to share this. I had the best pair of my life yesterday.
Ebbers, everyone at home, this is the first time he's sharing it to us. This is the second time he's chosen to share this fact.
With you. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of pears, but I cut into this pear and I thought, wow, it was life-changing.
Yeah, so much so you felt you had to share that.
Well, I shared it with you, but now I've shared it with these guys.
We told you it wasn't interesting, so why are you sharing it with them as well?
It hasn't stopped me in the last 14 years sharing non-interesting stuff, so why now? Eric Voss is saying, can we please make some more Norwegian food? Okay. I wouldn't even know really what that is. I had some amazing food when I was in Oslo, very specifically the capital, but...
We did some street food.
Some street food. Sure we did a Christmas dish, which was the salted lamb ribs. But Norwegian food we should dig in on, for sure. That's awesome. So many. And that all came as a result of the comment about Sidekick. Thank you for using Sidekick. It's literally the part of what we do that we love, because we get to actually make a difference in the way you guys are cooking at home and saving you money and inspiring food. So that is super awesome.
Nordic cuisine. People saying we should follow the Peter Pilgrim's journey across Italy.
I would love to do more of Italy. I've done the north of Italy. We've done the north of Italy. You've done the north of Italy. We came with you on your stag do.
Barely. I've done Italy a lot, but again, only on holiday, never as a food tour.
I don't think we've ever been as sorted, have we?
No,
France?
I guess
We've done
not.
Spain.
Europe. Rice.
Oh, northern Italy with rice.
Yes, we did with rice.
Absolutely.
But we haven't been down to the hill or to the boot or to the ball.
Well, we'll have to see if that came up on our Where to Travel this year.
Please say Sicily!
From you guys.
It's too late now, the answer's locked in.
Right, one more question, because while we're on the topic of food and food waste, there's something else that has been, and maybe just in my world, because I spend a lot of time reading about this stuff, but I was on a podcast not too long ago, and one of the conversations about how polarizing food conversation can be, and it's often people shouting at each other rather than trying to find a sensible middle ground of compromise, which is, in a complex world of food, probably the reality. But I feel like there's a lot of talk right now about ultra-processed food. And I also feel like...
I don't know what it really means.
I think it's a topic that people get confused by.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, if we were to say ultra-processed food to you, what words or terms or thoughts spring to mind? Like, what does it make you think of? Is it a feeling? Is it a type of thing? Examples of ultra-processed food? A definition that you think ultra-processed food is? Would love to know, because it's polarizing.
It's a word that has negative connotations, but no one can really put a finger on why. Because you sit there and go, well, it's. I always jump to the word. My head says factory.
Or junk food.
Yeah.
And actually, there's a whole sort of different people saying sort of spam, convenience,
chemicals,
or fast food,
weirdly,
chemical. Isn't that weird? So I completely agree when you say chemicals, because it often is an ingredients label full of chemicals you don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, water's a chemical.
Yeah,
Or
good
two,
point.
it's, you know,
Good
H2O,
point.
like
Yeah.
everything with salt.
Yeah.
You throw a bit of table salt, and that's sodium chloride. They're all chemical. Everything we eat is chemicals.
I
know what you
understand,
mean.
yeah.
I know what you mean when you say.
Keep again. Just tell us all the words that come to mind when you hear the words ultra processed.
Interesting one there, guilty pleasure, which I can, and the reason now, all these comments spinning by is the one that my eyes are drawn to, and we all have these bias, because it's a phrase that makes me itchy, because we should never feel guilty about eating food, because food brings all sorts of pleasure, and actually it's an excuse to bring people together and to celebrate, and whether it's big celebration, cakes, or whatever, we do use the phrase guilty pleasure, but why should we be guilty of it?
Yeah.
We shouldn't have it every day, for sure. Everything in moderation, but why should we feel guilty about it? So that's a good point.
E numbers coming in also. One thing is definitely ultra processed is American cheese, American burger cheese.
Well, arguably all cheese has been processed.
Exactly.
It started as milk.
What does that mean?
But ultra processed, what does that mean? Super interesting. And I don't know how many of you feel like you do have ultra processed food, or avoid it, or it's impossible to avoid, or the ultimate thing is convenience is key, and we all have to use them. It would be interesting to hear.
Interesting.
What thoughts come to mind?
Just packaging and plastic.
Plastic.
Yeah. Not the food itself.
And yet, coming back to my pear, the pear I had, hand-picked from, it was a single pear. But if you buy pears in a supermarket, they're often a bag of 5 wrapped in plastic.
Yep.
So does that make pears bought from a supermarket ultra-processed?
They've been through a process. The plastic is definitely ultra-processed. So therefore, is that product
and here we go. So this is kind of the conversation that I'm fascinated by, what you guys think about and how you define. Oh, should we go on? Somebody just put safari. I don't know what that means in context to what, but we should go on safari. I love a safari.
Okay.
Reliable. That's a good one. As in, it's always the same. An ultra-processed food, whether it's a tin of something, a packet of something, it's consistently standardized, and you can rely on it.
It's the first positive one I've seen there.
Well, there's convenience.
Yeah.
They're often cheaper.
Yeah.
They're often calorific, which if you're trying to get calories on a small
just
budget,
easy. People saying
there's lots of positives.
Yeah.
There's also lots of, as we know, negatives, both to our bodies and the planet and all sorts. And it's always a juggling act.
Yeah.
But we're just fascinated to see. Ultra-processed food is ultra-profit food.
Ooh,
Interesting. Means somebody's making money out of it. TV
TV
dinners.
dinners.
All of these comments are
yeah.
making so
Pink
much more
slime.
sense to us now. Pink slime. Yeah. That was a Jamie Oliver chicken
wasn't
nugget
it?
thing,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Again, people say even ultra-processed food means you get less waste as well. It's using up what you think is wasted food.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we should be closing this poll, but at the same time, the comments are so interesting.
And I just want to stress, we're doing this live now, but we're always reading all of the comments. This is a chance to have back and forth in real time with you guys, but all comments we always read, and we're always keen to know what you think, whether we should be doing more or less of any of these conversations we're having, travel, collabs, different formats, ultra-processed food, food waste. Where should we be honing our time?
Few comments saying we should talk to Josh from Mythical Kitchen. Apparently he has strong opinions on this.
On ultra-processed food?
He has strong opinions on everything.
And they're so wonderfully formed. Even if they're based on very little, they're so articulately.
Yeah.
He's a journalist at heart.
He is.
I love the way his mind works. If I could sit around a pub table and have a beer with him for many, many times, many, many beers, I feel like we'd get to the bottom of it.
Come to London. We've asked you 6 times already. Do it.
Right.
Okay,
ultra-processed food should be banned, says someone.
Close
so
it.
Before there's any more negativity, that's done.
Okay.
Wait, one more really positive conversation. We're a group of mates. We have been for a long time.
Amazingly, still.
Amazingly, we're still mates. We have more and more people come and join us as friends of the channel over time. Last year was a big one, lots of collabs. Actually, the burger challenge, the sub 10-minute burger challenge, was an amazing way of getting awesome new people in. And even this week's video, in a chef's fridge, the chefs at places like Fallow, so chefs from restaurants, we know Curran, lots of people from London restaurant scene, they're all now friends of the channel. But who else should we be collabing with this year?
And important, please, people that we haven't collabed with already. We need new names. We need new inspiration, people to work with. The world of YouTube, actually, the community of chefs on YouTube, actually is a pretty small world. And unless you're in certain corners of the internet, you don't find people. So we need more inspiration. Tell us who you're watching, who you found on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform, but also the restaurants that you've been to recently that you're like, this is incredible. This chef is underrated, needs to be celebrated. Tell us who that is and why we should work with them.
Yeah, some of them should, like Saipin.
Yeah.
Rosa's Thai was really good. Patrick, who came in and did
Amazing.
Kudu Grill, which was South African, which a lot of you have said. Yeah, there's so many. James Cochran, who came in, like did the fried chicken challenge.
Yeah.
Who are the other great chefs and or content creators? What are people saying? Josh Guga, Sam Holland,
Brooklyn Beckham.
And the thing is, we love it. Like we have spent years on this platform, and the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, is magical. It's special, but it does mean sometimes you don't find little pockets of things because they're not being fed into your algorithm, and that's where you guys probably watch other people, and you can help to introduce us. So, the A to Z of collabs, that would be epic.
Yeah, lots of Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay, yeah.
Guga, me, more Korean English. Yeah, right. More Jolly. Dylan Holly keeps like popping up everywhere on my feed at the moment. Would love to get him on.
More from the Plant Boys.
Babish, Weissman, Adam Ragusa.
Tom Syndicate, we met him him at the Sidemen Hide and Seek. What a legend!
Who expected to see Ben and Jamie in a Sidemen Hide and Seek? Two 36-year-old males.
My favourite story of that whole day, the hide and seek at Twickenham Stadium, phenomenal. We went in with a plan. We had a plan. We had a uniform switch. We had hiding places. I didn't do very well because I was not really hiding. I was just trying to blend in.
Carried away while working.
But my favourite part of that whole day was when Jamie was at home. Family breakfast. It was because we weren't coming to the studio and we were starting a bit later. He didn't have the usual commute, so basically he had breakfast with the kids and his wife. And the kids were like, "Dad, what? Why are you here for breakfast? What are you doing today?" And he was like,
I'm going to play hide and seek.
I'm going to play hide and seek. Like, how do you tell your kids, no, you must go to school because I'm going to play hide and seek?
Hard. One day you could play hide and seek for a job. Yeah,
these are great.
Andy Cooks as well has been brilliant. He's been blood everywhere. And Beard Meets Food as well.
So many great suggestions.
Yeah, thank you. This is brilliant. We'll use all this as bribery to get them on. Thank you so much.
You guys, that's all we ever do is create content that you guys want. So now we know what you want. We'll go and hunt it down, whether it's places, people, diets, food waste, collabs, travel. We'll try and do as much of it as possible. That's it. But do you think we'd do...
Logan Paul. Never, not going to happen, is it, mate? Seriously. Bake-Off contestants is always, about times we meet Bake-Off contestants. They go, what can we do? We can get them all in to do something crazy.
I quite like the whole, like a big collective thing.
Yeah. Because we know nothing about baking.
No, that's true.
It'd be wonderful to get them all in and do an old
but maybe we have to do a pop-up or something.
Yeah.
To put a marquee in a field. Has that been done before?
Chef Z off Jolly.
Yeah?
Yep. He has strong opinions and would rip our Italian food to bits.
For sure, yeah.
He'd be great.
What did we do yesterday in Sidekick? It was kind of like an Indian gnocchi dish. Excellent.
It was spectacular, and it was laced with a cream, which he will love. Lando Norris? How? Yes, please, but how?
Is he a foodie?
I have no idea. We can find out.
This is so helpful. Thank you so much, guys. I feel like that whole half an hour absolutely whizzed by. And we really just wanted a brain dump from you all to find out what you want to see, because, I saw a great meme the other day, which was because sometimes you're so worried about we've all, New Year's resolutions. Have we all been sticking to them? Are we already beating ourselves up because it's the end of Jan and here? But actually, I saw this big long thing which was the whole year in a linear thing, and it just said January was marked in, and the other 11 months just said opportunity. And that kind of more positive thing was yes, January's gone, but there's whole 11 months ahead of us for the opportunity to do cool stuff. And now we've got loads from pass on with Gordon Ramsay. I don't think we could cope.
Now, this is a weird thing to ask for as well, but I thought, why not? Whilst you're all here, you're all watching, you're all commenting. There are people out there who have friends who they think might want to come on the show, who might want to promote their business or what they do. Or they might have a company they want us to work with, who they've got a friend who works there. We are
a pretentious ingredient, and I mean that in a positive way. We don't state them all.
This is our thing. If you want to reach out and work with us and somehow by getting a friend onto the show, or us working with a brand or something like that, just reach out to hello@sorted food. We are all ears.
Actually, it is amazing that a lot of the people, the brands we worked with last year as well, and we don't work with many because we want them to be the right ones and the ones that make sense, have often been friends of the channel who actually have said, can you help us with something? So good point. There might be some interesting collaborations from a brand point of view, not just a content creator point of view as well. That would be epic.
They want us to get onto the off-menu podcast. So do we.
Oh, I think that'd be great.
They won't take our call. If you know them, please tell them to come on. Brilliant.
Fab. Thank you so much. There's still so much coming through. We will track all of this. We've got it all saved here. But thank you for joining us for a very, very, very fun, chatty live. And it was just that. We don't do this often enough, just sit and talk, as opposed to...
We said last year we're going to do more. We've done one in January. It's a good start.
No, it's 1st of Feb, Baz. Well done.
Bugger.
Thanks, guys.